تجھے روئے جس وقت اٹھایا نہ گیا لاشا جواں کا، جس وقت اٹھایا نہ گیا لاشا جواں کا، شہ اس گھڑی اکبر سے زیادہ تجھے روئے، شہ اس گھڑی اکبر سے زیادہ تجھے روئے، عباس تیرا حق ہے زمانہ تجھے روئے، زینب نے کہا شام غریباں میں غازی، زینب نے کہا شام غریباں میں غازی، بے پردہ مجھے دیکھ کے بابا تجھے روئے، بے پردہ مجھے دیکھ کے بابا تجھے روئے، عباس تیرا حق ہے زمانہ تجھے روئے، مشقیزہ کہیں جسم کہیں ہاتھ کہیں ہے، مشقیزہ کہیں جسم کہیں ہاتھ کہیں ہے، جا جا کے کہاں فاطمہ زہرا تجھے روئے، جا جا کے کہاں فاطمہ زہرا تجھے روئے، عباس تیرا حق ہے زمانہ تجھے روئے، ارمان سکینہ کا تھا جتنا تجھے روتی، ارمان سکینہ کا تھا جتنا تجھے روتی، سجاد تیری قبر پہ اتنا تجھے روئے، سجاد تیری قبر پہ اتنا تجھے روئے، عباس تیرا حق ہے زمانہ تجھے روئے، حسرات ہے کہ غازی ہوں لہو آنکھوں سے جاری، حسرات ہے کہ غازی ہوں لہو آنکھ سے جاری، یہ میر تکلم کبھی ایسا تجھے روئے، جب شام و سحر فاطمہ زہرا تجھے روئے، पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु
Thank you very much, brother, on that beautiful salam. On behalf of the Houston community, especially the Al Ghadir community, I would like to welcome Sayyid Masam to please come and invite Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi. Please recite a loud salawat, and if you can just move a little bit closer to the member and salawat.
اللهم صل على Assalamu alaikum, brothers, sisters there. Mubarak Sha'ban, inshallah, Mubarak for the coming month of Ramadan, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us long life to be one of the people who fast this great month of Ramadan. On your behalf and behalf of the community of Houston, we welcome Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi for visiting Houston. This is a great blessing for us, honestly, for a great alim to be here with us, among us in this city. I've been after Sayyid almost more than a year and a half to invite him to Houston. And finally, alhamdulillah, he made it. Jazakallah khair. I just would like to give you a biography a little bit. I know a little bit about him, but maybe some of you met his late father, Ayatollah Sayyid Saeed Akhtar Rizvi. He did a translation for a Mizan book, Tafsir al-Mizan. And also Sayyidina Sayyid Muhammad Rizvi, he has his own translation for the whole Quran. And it is very unique translation that I really advise you, especially for the youth. It is very, it's well written and in a way that it is understandable, and the people who read it, they really liked it. So also some of the converters 20 years ago, they used to get together and read the tafsir of Maulana here in Houston. So also he has many books, he authored many books, he wrote many books, and alhamdulillah, some of them published, some of them in their way, inshallah ta'ala. We hope, inshallah, we benefit from his presence here tonight and his lecture, inshallah ta'ala. Before the end, I would like to invite all of you tonight also to join us at MCC, Muslim Community Center, at Medical Center. It is on Alameda, between Holy Hall and Old Spanish. Inshallah, Maulana Sayyid, he is going to be there leading Maghrib prayer, then the lecture, then a question and answer by converters, inshallah ta'ala. So, MashaAllah. Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, this is the ulama, when they are there, they are to defend, they are to defend us, to defend Islam, to defend Tashayyu. And this is a great blessing, honestly. Please welcome Samahat al-Sayyid with loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay, that's fine. What do you want to do with this? Okay.
رحم الله من قرأ سورة الفاتحة. It's working. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة الدائمة الباقية لأعدائهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صلوات. I'd like to begin by thanking Al-Hajj Abu Maytham for arranging this meeting, insisting for me to come and visit Houston almost after 20 years. When we look at the timing, we are just a few days away from the month of Ramadan. And so wherever I've been talking on Thursday night at IEC, or last night at Al-Murtaza, the theme has been about the month of Ramadan, where we talked about the purpose of fasting and then the role of dua in the month of Ramadan. And I would like to continue that same theme here for this gathering and focus on the issue of how do we maximize the benefits of the month of Ramadan. In order to do that, I don't want to go into the statements and the writings of the Sufis and others. For us, the source is always the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. And so what I would like to do here is actually go through a very famous khutbah, sermon of the Prophet, where he gave in form of welcoming the month of Ramadan. And it's kind of a lengthy khutbah. I would like to, select some parts of it to talk about this issue of how we maximize the benefits of the fasting of the month of Ramadan. But before I go to that khutbah of the Prophet of Islam, I would like to go to a statement from Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. Where in a statement where he talks about the different levels and darajat of fasting. One of the difficulties that we have is those who are born in a Muslim and Shia family, we actually take things for granted. We don't reflect on the issue that, we already have an advantage compared to those who converted to Islam, that we are already into it. But then we do not realize that, the path of progression is an ongoing path. From the day you become baligh and you become responsible in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, till the last day of your life, there is this, potential of you attaining higher levels. And so sometimes we end up not focusing on these issues and we do everything the way we used to do 5 years ago, 10 years ago, without any, further development within ourselves. And this is where I think this hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen is very powerful, where he says, صَوْمُ الْقَلْبِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ صِيَامِ اللِّسَانِ. Fasting of the heart is better than the fasting of the tongue. وَصَوْمُ اللِّسَانِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ صِيَامِ الْبَطْنِ. And the fasting of the tongue is better than the fasting of the stomach or the belly. And this is where we realize that, okay, he is now, categorizing fasting at three different levels. One, he talks about qalb, then he talks about lisan, and then he talks about the issue of batn. And this is where we have to realize that, when you look at the basic level of fasting, where we refrain from those 9 to 10 things that we are taught from childhood, that in the state of fasting, don't do these things. And if we confine ourselves just to that, refraining from food and drink and smoking and other, physical desires that we have, we have attained only the basic level of fasting. Nothing more than that. And the benefit of that is actually we have averted the adab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which would come if we do not do the fasting. But whether he is going to accept it or not, whether there is going to be, grace from him in form of a reward or not, those are different, issues and different levels. So you come from that basic level, then you have to move on to the moral level of fasting, where now you do not confine yourself to only the 9 to 10 items which are there in the Risale Amaliya of our Maraji. And this is where Amir al-Mu'minin uses the example of tongue. That is just one example. When he says, Sawmul Lisan, fasting of the tongue, it's not only the tongue. Tongue is actually a representation of the various, limbs that we have. And the second level of fasting, which is a moral level, is where you actually refrain from misusing and wrong using of the faculties of the body that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us. Tongue is the first one. But then you have the eyes, we have the hands, we have the feet. All different parts of the body, if they are not used in the right way or abused, then this is where, you will see that even Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he highlights the issue of tongue, because this is the biggest problem that we have, from family life to international politics. It's what people say to one another, which creates all these problems. And this is where we have to realize, there is a very interesting hadith where symbolically it is said, not in a real sense, that every morning, the tongue looks at other parts of the body, other faculties that we have, and it greets them. كيف أصبحتم? How was your morning? And all the other limbs will say, it all depends on you. If you are okay, we are okay. So this is where we have to realize that, when Amir al-Mu'minin uses that example of lisan, this is a major issue. And if you look at even the list of muftirat, the things which are forbidden, there you will see almost 9 items are related to physical desires, food and drink, and smoking or sexual desires. But there is one item in that list of 10 things which is kind of odd. And that is actually, again, a window into the spiritual world of fasting. And that is where the Sharia says, if you ascribe any statement falsely to Allah, Rasul, or the Imam, your roza becomes batil. Now tell me, is doing that at night time or at other months other than Ramadan is okay? Ascribing a statement falsely to Allah, Rasul, or the Imam anytime is haram. But that has been included now in the muftirat, that if you do that, your roza becomes batil. Why? Basically, it's saying, this whole issue of the problem of tongue is very important. Take care of that, and everything else will be, in the right place. And this is where actually we elevate our fasting from the basic level to the moral level, and this is where the ajr and sawab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes into it. And so Amir al-Mu'minin, so he talks about Siyam al-Batn, the basic level, Sawm al-Lisan, the moral level, and then we come to the highest level, Sawm al-Qalb. What does that mean? It doesn't mean, you cannot stop your, refrain your heart from, things which are required. What it means is that your focus, especially when you are fasting, should be, and we can never attain perfection there, but we have to try. If we are able to focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more when we are fasting, during that duration of fasting, then our fasting and rosa attains that highest level, which is the spiritual level, where we do not think about anything. You know, as Amir al-Mu'minin says that whenever I see anything, I see Allah before it, and I see Allah with it, and I see Allah after that. That awareness and that consciousness of Allah's presence, if that is that, there, then basically the fasting that we have can reach to that highest level, which is not for everyone, but at least, you know, we have been told that the potential is there. Try to do that. You might not be able to, you know, we are not infallible. We are not ma'soom. But we will be able to, at least we try, then we can live, you know, reach to the higher level of fasting. And that is where the ajr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes. Salawat. So this was just a, you know, the introduction to this concept that fasting also can be of different levels. So you have the basic level, then the moral level, and then the spiritual level, based on this hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen. But how do we, you know, maximize and gain higher levels of fasting? And this is what I wanted to share with you, the famous khutbah of the Prophet of Islam, welcoming the month of Ramadan. And this is from Sheikh Saduq, one of the prominent, alim from the Shia world, who was a muhaddis of a first level. And he has a book known as Uyun Akhbar Ridha, where he has compiled and gathered the ahadith from Imam Ali ibn Musa Ridha alayhi salatu wasalam. And Imam Ridha alayhi salam, you know, basically Sheikh Saduq going through his sanad, going to the eighth Imam, and eighth Imam then through his ancestors goes all the way to Rasulullah. That he basically, it was probably a few days before the month of Ramadan that he gave this khutbah in Medina. And we have it in entire form in Uyun Akhbar al-Ridha, where this is where we have to realize that when we talk about this issue of maximizing the benefit of fasting in the month of Ramadan, the very first requirement for that is to understand what is Ramadan. What is this whole process? If we have the ma'rifat, then we will be able to maximize the ajr and sawab and the benefit of this month. The Prophet actually begins very beautifully where he says, أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِنَّهُ قَدْ أَقْبَلَ إِلَيْكُمْ شَهْرُ اللَّهِ. O people, you know, the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is approaching you. Approaching you with what? It describes three things. بِالْبَرَكَةِ وَالرَّحْمَةِ وَالْمَغْفِرَةِ. The month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is approaching you with three things. Number one, with the blessings. Number two, with mercy. And number three, with forgiveness. So this is where he's preparing the ground. Think about it. You know, it's not just a 9th month in the Islamic calendar that I have to now stop eating and drinking only. Think about it that this is a month where Allah is basically, extending His barakat and rahmat and maghfirah, which is there all the time. But in the month of Ramadan, it is being increased and multiplied. And then just to emphasize that, the Prophet says, remember, شَهْرٌ هُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَفْضَلُ الشُّهُورِ. Remember that among the 12 months, this month in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of the months. And not only that, then he goes on to say, وَأَيَّامُهُ أَفْضَلُ الْأَيَّامِ. The days of the month of Ramadan are the best of the days in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَيَالِيهِ أَفْضَلُ اللَّيَالِي. And even the nights of this month are the best in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَسَاعَاتُهُ أَفْضَلُ السَّاعَاتِ. Even the hours of this month are the best of hours in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have the barakat and the rahmat and the maghfirah and then you have this, most important month from all dimension, day and night and hours, and the minutes. And then he brings us to a point where you look at it. هو شهر دعيتم فيه إلى ضيافة الله. Remember that this is the month where you have been invited to be the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a very different way now of looking at Ramadan. It's not only, Sahar and Iftar at the end. It's not only refraining from food and drink. Rather, considering that we have now an invitation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be, His guest. And وَجُعِلْتُمْ فِيهِ مِنْ أَهْلِ كَرَامَةِ اللَّهِ. And you have been included now during this month among those who have the honor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we look at this concept of ziyafatullah, which kind of ziyafat are we talking about? He is the host and we are the guest. And when he says, you are my guest, he is not referring to the iftar that we get from one another or in the centers in the evenings. No. This is a different kind of, basically the invitation and the reception and the sufra that we have from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not food and drink. It is not khurma and sharbat there. What is there? What is there in this ziyafat that now Allah is the host and we are the guest? 4 things the Prophet mentions. That now that you are the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is going to entertain you or serve you with 4 things. Number 1, أنفاسكم فيه تسبيح. Anfas, nafas, breathing process. When you inhale and exhale air, oxygen. In the month of Ramadan, basically, especially when you are fasting, the Prophet says this process of breathing becomes a tasbih. Just think about it. Do you even consciously breathe? Do you plan and do the niyat and I'm going to breathe now? Whether you do the niyat or not, you are going to do it. It's part of the nature, the system is there. Even when you are sleeping, you are breathing. So there is nothing, we don't really consciously plan to breathe. It is part of the nature. We don't even sometimes realize that we are breathing. But even that act that we do naturally without even thinking about it, now that we are the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, even this process of breathing, I will consider that to be a tasbih. Number 1. Number 2, وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهِ عِبَادَةً. The second item in that sufra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His guest is what? He says, when you sleep in this month, especially when you are fasting, your act of sleeping in the state of fasting will be considered as ibadat and an act of worship. And this is where we have to, realize that things which are very normal that we do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is elevating that. He says, you do this normally, but I don't reward you for that. But in the month of Ramadan, you are my guest. So now, things are changing. Your breathing becomes tasbih and your sleeping becomes ibadat. But this is where I would like to stop and go to another hadith of our Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where it's not part of this khutbah, but it's something very important that when we talk about this issue of breathing become tasbih and sleeping becoming ibadat, there is a condition there. There is a condition there. It's not only refraining from food and drink, which will make us, on that level that even our breathing and sleeping becomes tasbih and ibadat. He says, الصائم في عبادة وإن كان إلى فراشه. A person who is fasting, he or she is in the state of ibadat, even if that person is sleeping on the bed, ما لم يغتب مسلما. as long as he has not done ghibat. Now, in the list of 10 things which makes your roza batil, is ghibat there? Huh? Come on, tell me. Yes? Who says yes? It's not there. It is not even a minority opinion. There is no mujtahid faqih and list ghibat as one of the things which will make the roza batil. Otherwise we'll be in big trouble. But the Prophet is saying that if you refrain from ghibat, backbiting, then you have this extra reward. Then your process of breathing, which is a very natural thing you do, and even your sleep becomes tasbih and ibadat, as long as you have not backbited a Muslim. As soon as you do that, your roza doesn't become batil. There is no qada, there is no kafara. Your roza is still okay, but you lose this spiritual benefit which comes with being the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is where we have to realize that, when we become the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the month of Ramadan, we can maximize the things that we do without even, planning and thinking about it, and get ajr and sawab, provided we know what we are doing and know the importance of that time and the moment that you spend in fasting. Number 3, the third item in the sufra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his guest is وَعَمَلُكُمْ فِيهِ مَقْبُولٌ. In the month of Ramadan, especially when you are fasting, when you do your amal, any good deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more than ever willing to accept it. And number 4, وَدُعَاؤُكُمْ فِيهِ مُسْتَجَابٌ. And your dua in the state of fasting in the month of Ramadan is more, mustajab and answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Actually, later on in this khutbah, and I'm just, picking different parts from the khutbah, and I would like to go to a statement which came in the khutbah at the end. The Prophet actually says that the best time of dua in the month of Ramadan is during the time of your salat. Once you finish your prayers, he says, وَارْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِ أَيْدِيَكُمْ بِالدُّعَاءِ فِي أَوْقَاتِ صَلَوَاتِكُم. During the time of namaz, either in the qunut or after that, raise your hands towards him. فإنها أفضل الساعات ينظر الله عز وجل فيها بالرحمة إلى عباده. It is the best of hour in the state of fasting, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at his servants with mercy. يجيبهم إذا ناجوه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to them when they whisper to him. It's a najwa, this is private dua that we have. وَيُلَبِّيهِمْ إِذَا نَادُوهُ. And when they call him out loud, even at that time he says لَبَّيْكَ. وَيَسْتَجِيبُ لَهُمْ إِذَا دَعُوهُ. And when they call him in prayers, he responds to them at that time. And so in this first passage, the Prophet then ends with saying, فَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ رَبُّكُمْ بِالنِّيَّاتٍ صَادِقَةٍ. Therefore ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with pure intention, وَقُلُوبٍ طَاهِرَةٍ, with pure hearts. Ask him what? أَنْ يُوَفِّقُكُمْ لِصِيَامِهِ وَطَلَاوَةِ كِتَابِهِ. That he may give you the tawfiq, the ability to fulfill the duty of fasting and to recite the Quran. Talawat of Quran is not a ritual issue. It is also part of the recommendations that we have. فإن الشقي من حرم من غفران الله في هذا الشهر العظيم. Who is shaqi? Shaqi and Sayyid are opposites. Sayyid means somebody who is fortunate. Shaqi is somebody who is the most unfortunate person. And who is shaqi? Shaqi is somebody who is deprived from the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this great month of Ramadan. Salawat. Then there are some other things. Now, these were the four items basically that when we become the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the sufra given to us. Moving further, the Prophet then says there are certain things if you do, you'll be able to maximize the benefit of fasting. Number one, he says, أيها الناس من حسن منكم في هذه الشهر خلقه كان له جوازا على الصراط يوم تظل فيه الأقدام. O people, whoever among you improves his akhlaq during this month. So it's not only those 9-10 items where you have to refrain from. There are many other things that you have to do in order to maximize the benefits of fasting in the month of Ramadan. And one is, husn khulq, to improve the akhlaq with the people, and this will become jawaz for him on the sirat. It will become the pass for him on the sirat on the day when the feet of the people will slip down. Number two, وَمَنْ خَفَّفَ فِي هَذِهِ الشَّهْرِ عَمَّا مَلَكَتْ يَمِينُهُ. Those days, the example is of slaves. Now you have employees or workers. Whoever lessens the burden of the employees in the month of Ramadan, خَفَّفَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ حِسَابُهُ. In return, Allah will, make it easy, his hisab and his accountability on the day of Qiyamah. وَمَنْ كَفَّ فِيهِ شَرُّهُ. To go easy with the employees is the positive side. But then there is another which everybody can do, to refrain the evil that we have. Maybe we are more angry. So we have to control, وَكَفَّ فِيهِ شَرُّهُ. If somebody has an attitude where he is somehow going to hurt others, if in the month of Ramadan that person prevents his own shar from others, كَفَّ اللَّهُ فِيهِ غَضَبَهُ يَوْمَ يَلْقَاهُ. On the day of Qiyamah, Allah will restrain his own ghadab and anger against that person. وَمَنْ أَكْرَمَ فِيهِ يَتِيمًا أَكْرَمَهُ اللَّهُ يَوْمَ يَلْقَاهُ. And whoever is kareem and generous to a yatim, or respectable towards yatim by helping them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also will honor that person on the day of Qiyamah. So these things are there for all the time, but in the month of Ramadan it becomes more important, and it enhances the value of fasting. وَمَنْ وَصَلَ فِيهِ رَحِمَهُ وَصَلَهُ اللَّهُ بِرَحْمَتِهِ يَوْمَ يَلْقَاهُ. Silatul Rahim, to maintain the ties with our relatives. This is something very important. Islam talks about it in Quran. There are more ayat emphasizing about maintaining your relationship with your relatives than the ayat commanding us to do the daily prayers. This has been emphasized more. And also there are many other ayat on the opposite side, asking us not to cut off the relationship. And especially in the month of Ramadan, this becomes an added asset of, our fasting, where the Prophet says, and whoever maintains his relationship, Allah will link his rahmat with that person on the day of Qiyamah. وَمَنْ قَطَعَ رَحِمَهُ قَطَعَهُ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ رَحْمَتُهُ. And whoever severs the ties with his relatives in the month of Ramadan, Allah will also cut the link of that person to his rahmat. وَمَنْ تَطَوَّعَ فِيهِ بِصَلَاةٍ كَتَبَ لَهُ بَرَاءَةً مِنَ النَّارِ. In the month of Ramadan, if you do extra prayers, nafila prayers, which are specially for the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will write a bara'at. a free passage from the fire of Jahannam. Now, when we talk about this issue, you have to realize, sometimes in our communities, we emphasize more on saying, oh, Taraweeh is bid'ah. And it is bid'ah. No doubt about it, bid'ah started by Umar. But by saying Taraweeh is bid'ah, we also forget that what is bid'ah is doing the nafilah prayers in jama'at form. Not the prayers which are recommended in the month of Ramadan. That is recommended. That is sunnah. And even in our fiqh, in our Sharia, it is there. It was done during the days of the Prophet. It was even done during the days of Abu Bakr. Umar one day came to the masjid. He saw people, doing their nafilah prayers of the Ramadan. Individually, he said, it would be good if I can just put them together. Oh, you don't play with Sharia. Islam is very clear that when it comes to the wajib prayers, you have jama'at. When it comes to sunnat and nafilah prayers, you do it individually. It's actually better to do it at home than in the masjid. Because it has a different, level of it as far as one-to-one communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so let us not, when we say that Taraweeh is bid'ah, let us not neglect the fact that in our fiqh also, it is the sunnah from the Prophet and the Imams that there are special prayers during the month of Ramadan, during the night time. And we are not talking about these nafilah prayers attached to the daily prayers or namaz al-shab. That is there. But in the month of Ramadan, from the first eve till the 20th, so 20 nights, you have to recite 20 rakat, 2 rakat each, so 10 namaz. And then from the eve of 21st to 30th, although in North America we only used to 29, but eve of 21st to 30th, you increase 10 more rakat there. So it's not 10 namaz, 2 rakat each, it becomes 15 there. And then basically then in Shab Qadr, 19th, the eve of 21st and 23rd we have this 100 rakat each. If you count all of them, the entire month, the special prayers that we have reaches to 1,000 rakat. First 20 days is 400 rakat. Then you add in there 21st to 30th becomes that's 300. And then you have 300 for 3 nights. This is where you have 1,000 rakat. So we have that. And you can actually not only, use the shorter method to do it. You don't have to do with all the recommended zikr in it. You can recite in the shortest form that you know. Of course, the minimum has to be fulfilled. There's no shortcut to that, But that you can use that minimum method. Not only that, actually you can use that opportunity of doing your nafilah, special nafilah of Ramadan, to fulfill your qadha prayers, the way we do in Layali al-Qadr. When you hear about 100 rakat in Shab Qadr, technically you have to do 2 rakat 50 times. But what do? We do 6 days. And similarly, the way you do that, you can even do this, daily nafilah prayers that you have. You do it in a way that you can also fulfill your qadha prayers. And because you are doing it in the month of Ramadan with that intention that I stood up to do the nafilah, but I have qadha prayers and I would like to do that, you can't do 2 niyats. You can't have qadha and nafilah niyat. You do it with qadha niyat. But because the timing and in your mind, that was the perspective, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is willing to give you the ajr and thawab for the qaza as well as for the nafilah. Salawat. Then the Prophet goes on to say one more thing that we had to realize to maximize the benefit of this month. وَمَنْ عَدَّ فِيهِ فَرْضًا كَانَ لَهُ ثَوَابٌ مَنْ عَدَّ سَبْعِينَ فَرِيضَةً فِيمَا سَوَاهُ مِنَ الشُّهُورِ. If you fulfill a wajib deed, not only namaz, anything which is wajib on you, if you do it, normally, any good deed that you do, you get the sawab 10 times. This is out of His mercy. وَمَنْ جَاءَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ فَلَهُ عَشْرُ أَمْثَالِهَا, Quran says. If somebody does a good deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'll reward you 10 times of that, as far as the reward is concerned. It doesn't mean it becomes 10 times. We say, okay, I did one and it's 10, so my 10 namaz is done with one. No, that's only for sawab. It's multiplied in that way. But then in the month of Ramadan, the Prophet says the number are increased. Instead of 10 times, whatever good deed that you do, it becomes 70 times as far as the reward is concerned. Keep these things in mind from the khutbah of the Prophet, and then you will realize that there is a lot of potential as far as, maximizing the benefit of this month is concerned. And, then he says, even reciting one ayat of Quran, وَمَنْ تَلَى فِيهِ آيَةً مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, reciting one ayat of Quran in the month of Ramadan, كَانَ لَهُ مِثْلُ أَجْرِ مَنْ خَتَمَ الْقُرْآنِ فِي غَيْرِهِ مِنَ الشُّهُورِ. Reciting one ayat in the month of Ramadan, according to the Prophet, the ajr and thawab is like reciting the entire Quran in the other months. So you can just realize that those who finish the whole Quran, their ajr and thawab, is much, much more than that. And let me end with one more statement. The khutbah is still longer, but we'll conclude with that, where he emphasizes the point, وَمَنْ أَكْثَرَ فِيهِ مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ عَلَيَّ سَقَى اللَّهُ مِيزَانُهُ يَوْمَ تُخَفَّفُ الْمَوَازِينَ. He says, during this month, if you increase the salawat on me, when your deeds will be put on the mizan, and if the good deeds are less in weight, the salawat on Muhammad and ala Muhammad will make it heavier. And so, sometimes we think, what should I do? What should I do? These are things we know. You're driving, there's nothing there else to do. Well, why don't you just recite salawat? You don't have to look at the book. Everybody knows. You're going for your walk, you can recite the salawat. So there are so many ways by which we can, maximize the benefits of fasting, elevate the level of fasting from the basic level, as we talked about it earlier, to the, moral level, and then eventually to the spiritual level. Salawat. I've been told that this is a majlis, not just a lecture, so briefly I would like to end in Urdu with apologies to our brother Haj Abu Maitham. You must be understanding a little bit Urdu now. Okay. Salawat. Because I'm not really used to, I've done it, but I'm not that comfortable in doing the masahib in English. ईमान और इस्लाम की जब बात होती है, या अमल साले और तक़वा का जब ज़िक्र होता है, ख़ुद कुरान में भी और रसूल और आले रसूल के इरशादात में भी आप देखेंगे कि हमेशा इन लोगों ने इस बात पर ज़ोर दिया है कि आपके जहन में ये बात रहनी चाहिए कि दराजात हैं इनमें। मसलन मशहूर हदीस है कि ईमान के 10 दराजात हैं, लेकिन हमारी जो फ़िक्र की परवाज़ जो है सिर्फ वहाँ तक रुक जाती है कि हाँ, वो जनाब सलमान 10वें दर्जे पर थे, अबू ज़र जो है 9वें पे थे, مقداد جو ہے 8ویں پہ تھے، لیکن اس کے بعد ہم کنیکٹ نہیں کرتے ہیں اس بات سے کہ سلمان بھی ہماری طرح غیر معصوم تھے، ابو ذر بھی ہماری طرح ایک عام انسان تھے، مقداد بھی ہماری طرح عام انسان تھے۔ یہ ہمارے لیے اسوہ ہے، نمونہ ہے، مثال ہیں۔ اکثر لوگ کہتے ہیں، خصوصاً جوان کہتے ہیں، آپ لوگ کہتے ہیں اہل بیت کو فالو کرو، وہ تو معصوم تھے۔ کہتے ہیں اچھا چھوڑو ان کو، ان کے اصحابی کو فالو کرو۔ یہ جو مشہور حدیث ہم بچپنے سے سنتے چلے آ رہے ہیں، اس پہ ذرا سوچنا بھی چاہیے کہ کہیں ہم صرف پہلے لیول پہ تو نہیں ہیں۔ یعنی ہمارے یہ جو ترقی کی راہ میں ہمیں جو محنت کرنی ہے، کچھ معرفت ہونی چاہیے کہ بھائی دوسری منزل بھی ہے، اس لیے کہ ابتدائی مرحلہ اسلام کا ہے۔ اسلام میں پھر جب دیکھیے، اسلام ایک زبانی معاملہ ہے، لیکن جب وہ کلمہ اور عقیدہ زبان سے ہٹ کے ہمارے دل میں بس جاتا ہے تو تب آپ اسلام سے ایمان کے منزل پر آتے ہیں، اور جب صحیح معنوں میں ایمان کے منزل پر آتے ہیں تو اس کا تقاضا یہ ہوتا ہے کہ آپ عملی طور پہ ثابت کریں۔ یعنی یہ ایمان جو ہے یہ صرف زبانی بات نہیں ہے، وہ تو صرف اسلام کی بات ہے، اور جب عمل ہوگا تو اس میں انٹریکشن ہوتا ہے عمل اور ایمان میں۔ آپ جتنا عمل بہتر کریں گے، آپ کے ایمان کی کیفیت بڑھتی چلی جائے گی، اور جیسے ہی آپ کے ایمان کی کیفیت بہتر ہوگی تو آپ کے عمل کی کیفیت بھی بہتر ہوگی، اور دوبارہ جیسے ہی آپ کا ایمان عمل کے لیول جو ہے بڑھے گا تو آپ کے ایمان میں بھی نورانیت جو ہے بڑھ جائے گی۔ یہ ایک اسپائرل، یہ اسٹیئر کیس کی طرح ہے، عمل اور ایمان کا جو آپس میں انٹریکشن جو ہوتا رہتا ہے۔ تو ہمیں ان باتوں پر سوچنا چاہیے، خصوصاً ماہ رمضان کے حوالے سے یہ ایک موقع ہوتا ہے کہ انسان اپنی روحانی ترقی کے بارے میں سوچے۔ بس خداوند عالم ہم سب کو توفیق دے۔ ہم یہ نہیں کہتے ہیں کہ ہم اس منزل پہ ہیں، لیکن اسی بہانے کم سے کم خود ہم اپنے کو یاد دلاتے ہیں ان باتوں کی، تاکہ ہم خدا توفیق دے کہ ہم لوگ اپنے کو بہتر سے بہتر بنا سکیں۔ کبھی کبھی لوگ پوچھتے ہیں کہ بھائی علی جو ہے کس منزل پر تھے؟ بھئی یہ علی کے لیے یہ منزل کی بات نہیں ہے۔ سلمان پہنچے تھے 10ویں منزل پر علی کی ولایت کی وجہ سے، وہ درجات کی بات نہیں ہے، وہ شرط ایمان ہے وہ۔ تو یہ آلریڈی ہم لوگ اس منزل پہ ہیں کہ جہاں ہم ولایت علی کو مانتے ہیں، ہمارے پاس وہ ایسٹ ہے جو دوسروں کے پاس نہیں ہے۔ ہمیں ان کی سیرت کو دیکھنا ہے، ان کے اصحاب کی سیرت کو دیکھنا ہے۔ واقعات کربلا میں اصحاب حسین ہمارے لیے جو ہے اسوہ اور نمونہ ہیں۔ اتنی تعریف کیوں ہوتی ہے کہ چھٹے امام بھی مثلاً زیارت وارثہ میں امام حسین علیہ السلام کی زیارت کے بعد اور جناب علی اکبر کی زیارت کے بعد اصحاب امام حسین کا ذکر کرتے ہیں، اور وہاں عنوان آپ دیکھیں، وہ صرف انصار حسین نہیں ہے، وہ انصار حسن بھی ہیں، انصار فاطمہ بھی ہیں، انصار امیر المومنین بھی ہیں، بلکہ اینڈ میں یہی ہے نا کہ وہ انصار دین اللہ ہیں، خدا کے دین کے انصار و مددگار ہیں۔ یہ درجہ انہیں ملا کیوں ملا؟ کیوں شہداء کربلا کی جو عظمت ہے تمام شہداء سے زیادہ ہے؟ وہاں بھی آپ درجات کے فرق کو دیکھیں۔ فرق یہ ہے کہ جن لوگوں نے اپنی جان دی ہے رسول کی خدمت میں مختلف جہادوں میں، انہوں نے اپنے فرض کو ادا کیا ہے۔ جنہوں نے امیر المومنین کے رکاب میں اپنی قربانی پیش کی ہے، وہ ان کا فرض تھا۔ شب عاشور امام حسین علیہ السلام نے اس فرض کے بوجھ کو اصحاب سے اٹھا لیا تھا۔ ان کا کمال اس میں ہے کہ انہوں نے اپنی جان دی ہے، فرض سمجھ کے نہیں، بلکہ والنٹری بیسس پر، رضاکارانہ طور پہ۔ اس لیے ان کی عظمت جو ہے خود حسین کہتے ہیں کہ جو اصحاب مجھے ملے ہیں، نہ میرے بابا کو ملے نہ میرے بھائی کو ملے۔ اور اس لیے آپ اصحاب میں بھی امام حسین علیہ السلام کے اصحاب اور جو شہداء کربلا ہیں اس میں بھی آپ دیکھیں کہ درجات میں فرق ہے۔ اور یہ درجات میں جو فرق ہے اس وقت آتا ہے کہ جب انسان ایکسٹرا محنت کرے، کوشش کرے. اور یہ انہی مثالوں کو ذہن میں رکھنا چاہیے. چوتھے امام کی ایک روایت ہے جناب عباس کے بارے میں، چونکہ مرثیہ جناب عباس کا تھا، اسی پہ ہم ذکر کو ختم کرنا چاہیں گے، کہ فرماتے ہیں کہ قیامت کے دن تمام دوسرے شہداء رسول کے زمانے سے لے کے بعد تک جناب عباس کی منزلت کو دیکھ کے احساس غبطہ ہوگا. وہ جیلسی نہیں ہے، لیکن یعنی کاش ہمیں بھی یہ مرتبہ ملتا. جناب عباس کی عظمت کیوں ہے؟ انہوں نے بھی دوسروں کی طرح رضاکارانہ طور پہ قربانی دی ہے، لیکن فرق یہ ہے کہ جناب عباس نے اپنے تمام وجود کو، تمام اپنے جذبات کو ڈبو دیا تھا حسین کے اطاعت میں. اب مرضی عباس کی نہیں تھی، جو حسین چاہیں گے وہی ہوگا. اور جو بھروسہ تھا امام حسین علیہ السلام کو، اس سے آپ کو جو بھروسہ جو ہم دیکھتے ہیں وہ کسی اور صحابی کے بارے میں نہیں ملتا ہے، بلکہ بنو ہاشم کے شہداء کے بارے میں بھی نہیں ملتا ہے، کہ جب عباس آئے ہیں اور مولا سے اجازت چاہتے ہیں، حسین ابن علی نے عباس کے سراپا کو دیکھا ہے اور یہی جملہ کہا تھا نا کہ اے عباس اذا مضیت تفرق عسکری، اگر تم چلے جاؤ گے تو میرا لشکر ختم ہو جائے گا. عباس نے یہی کہا تھا مولا وہ لشکر ہی کہاں ہے، لیکن حسین یہ کہنا چاہتے تھے جب تک تم زندہ ہو میری نظروں میں پورا لشکر جو ہے موجود ہے. بس اتنے میں بچوں کے لطش کی آواز بلند ہوئی، یہی بہانہ بنا ہے. اور حسین نے کہا کہ عباس کچھ کرنا ہے تو بچوں کے لیے پانی کا انتظام کرو. سکینہ کے مشکیزہ کو لیتے ہیں، جانا چاہتے ہیں، لیکن ایک کنیز نے آواز دی کہ بہن نے تمہیں یاد کیا ہے. جہاں تک بھروسے کی بات ہے، ایک اور منظر سن کے بس ہم مجلس کو ختم کرنا چاہیں گے کہ جناب زینب نے یاد کیا ہے جب خیمے میں جاتے ہیں، زینب کہتی ہیں عباس ہم تمہیں روکیں گے نہیں، لیکن جانے سے پہلے ایک بات سن لو کہ اکثر بابا کہتے تھے بیٹی ایک وقت آئے گا کہ تیری چادر کو لوٹا جائے گا، تجھے اسیر اور قیدی بنایا جائے گا، تیرے بازو میں رسن باندھی جائے گی. اور میں یہ مانتی تھی کہ بابا نے جو کہا ہے وہ برحق ہے، لیکن پھر ایک زمانہ آیا، تم پیدا ہوئے، تم جوان ہوئے، تمہاری بہادر اور شجاعت کا چرچا جو ہے عالم عرب میں پھیل گیا. کبھی کبھی ہم سوچتے تھے کہ وہ بہن جس کا عباس جیسا بھائی ہو، اس کی چادر کو کون ہاتھ لگا سکتا ہے، اس کو اسیر اور قیدی کون بنا سکتا ہے. عباس آج دیکھ رہے ہیں جو بھی جاتا ہے زندہ واپس نہیں آتا ہے. مجھے یقین ہے کہ آج ہم اسیر بھی ہوں گے، قیدی بھی بنیں گے، میری چادر کو بھی لوٹا جائے گا. الا لعنت اللہ علی القوم الظالمین سیعلم الذین ظلموا ای منقلب ینقلبون. خداوند اس قلیل بات قبول فرما، ہمارے گناہوں کو معاف فرما، ہماری توفیقات میں اضافہ فرما. خداوندہ ہمیں توفیق دے کہ صحیح معنوں میں ماہ رمضان، اس کے روزے کی اہمیت کو ہم سمجھ سکیں. ہمیں وہ صلاحیت اور علم اور حکمت دے کہ ہم صحیح معنوں میں اس کے جو بینیفٹس ہیں اسے میکسیمائز کر سکیں. خداوندہ جہاں بھی شیعان عالی ہیں ان کو اپنے حفظ امان میں رکھ، تکفیری افواج کی تمام صلاحیتوں کو نیست و نابود فرما، امام کی ظہور میں تعجل فرما. ربنا تقبل منا انک انت السمیع العلیم.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. پانی مانگے نہ کوئی پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا باس نہیں، پانی مانگے نہ کوئی روکے سکینہ بولی، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا باس نہیں، پانی مانگے نہ کوئی التجا ہے یہ میری، کوئی پیاسا نہ کرے شکوہ تشنا لبی، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا باس نہیں، پانی مانگے نہ کوئی حکینہ بولی، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا میرے بابا سے انہیں دور ہٹا دو بچوں، خالی کوزوں کو کہیں جا کے چھپا دو بچوں، دیکھ کر خشک انہیں وہ نہ محسوس کرے اپنے بھائی کی کمی، پاس بابا کے پانی مانگے نہ کوئی کہ میرے دوسرا عباس نہیں، کاش پانی کے لیے ان سے نہ کہتی آ کر، کیا خبر تھی کہ نہیں آئیں گے امو جا کر، شرم آتی ہے مجھے دیکھ کر ٹوٹی کمر، جان نکلتی ہے میری، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا باس نہیں، پانی مانگے نہ کوئی روکے سکینہ بولی، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا باس نہیں، مجھ کو احساس نہ ہو اپنے چچا کے غم کا، اس لیے روتے نہیں سامنے میرے بابا، جانتی ہوں میں مگر کہ میرے بابا پر کیا قیامت گزری، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا عباس نہیں، نہ کوئی روکے سکینہ بولی، پاس بابا کے میرے دوسرا عباس نہیں، یا حسین
السلام عليكم وعبد الله، السلام عليكم رسول الله، السلام عليكم أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم فاطمة الزهراء، السلام على جدك وأبيك، السلام على أمك وأخيك والأولادك المعصومين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليكم يا غريب الغرباء، السلام عليكم معين الضعفاء والفقراء، السلام عليكم مغششية والزوار في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته، السلام عليكم صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليكم خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليكم إمام السوجان، أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى زورك ومخرجك ورحمة الله وبركاته. हाफ कुरान जो है वो 80s में छपे थे, लेकिन उसके बाद कोरोना आने के बाद काम हो गया, फिनिश नाउ अनाउंस हो नहीं अभी
I hope I did not bring all the, but Nazran did a very good thing. You can ask
Brothers, please, I would like to invite you again for tonight at MCC. Maulana will be there leading Maghrib prayer on time around 8:20, and inshallah after that we'll have the lecture Samahat Sayyid. So after the lecture, dinner inshallah. All are invited. Please, we'll be more than happy to see you there. Jazakum.